So I identify as a trans woman because they have more rights and benefits than women. And I want those rights and benefits. I want them all. Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina, YouTube's favorite lesbian, aside from Ariel Scarcella. Damn her. Anyway, we're just going to get right into it. We got some Ben Shapiro here.
Well, folks, Jazz Jennings is a very, very famous transgender person. In fact, Jazz Jennings is the face of the transgender movement beginning at about the age of 4 years old. This is season 1, episode 1 of I Am Jazz. This show premiered originally in, I believe, 2014. So at this point, Jazz Jennings was 13 to 14 years old.
I am a teenage girl. I'm also a soccer player. I'm also an artist. I love hanging out with my friends. I'm also transgender, and I'm proud of that. But you know, in the end, all these things come together and really just make me Jazz.
This is the individual identity pushed by this person's parents. This is a boy who was given hormones, obviously, because now this person looks like this person was given hormones by his parents. And then the media championed this, led by people like Barbara Walters, by your most mainstream sources on 2020, Barbara Walters gushing over the idea that a boy can become a girl. And this is the elites in our society that have decided to run this is now season 7. So this is now 2021. There's the season 7 trailer.
2 years ago, I was on my way to one of the greatest institutions in the world, but I was actually struggling severely with mental health issues.
All right, was it serious?
I started binge eating and I gained weight and more weight and more weight. And now, almost 100 pounds heavier, here I am today.
It's a big old belly.
Oh my God, the side view.
I'm out of shape. Be easy on me.
Having all this extra weight, I can't do so many things with my body that I used to be able to do.
A typical morning's breakfast.
Fast food, maybe a donut or two, and then maybe 2 bagels.
Okay, so obviously things are going really well for Jazz Jennings, and obviously more clips from the season include Jazz Jennings talking about not feeling good, not feeling like, quote unquote, herself, not feeling comfortable in, quote unquote, her body.
I feel bad for her, man. I know what it's like to gain weight like that. I used to have a 4-pack. I used to have an ass you could bounce a quarter off of. Now I got rolls. It ain't fun. But it was because I was drinking, and the drinking made me like food. So I ate a lot of food. And then I had rolls. And then that wasn't fun. Because stretching was a bitch. Tying my shoes was awful. Sitting sucked. Being able to feel your rolls on your body when you're not used to that sucks. So I feel bad for her. She's going through a lot. I know what depression is like. I've had it since I was 10. Major depressive disorder. And depression doesn't go away. It's kind of like being an alcoholic. You're always an alcoholic. You're always a person with depression. But it comes in waves. Sometimes you go months where it's like a 3. Sometimes you go months where it's like a 9. Those are the tough months. And during the months when there are 3, you have to prepare, like writing lists, schedules, for when the 9 months hit. And you never know when it's going to happen. That's the shitty part. It's not something you can control, but it's something that you can manage. But it's all trial and error because everyone's different. Some people need medications, like myself. Other people just need therapy. All different kinds. It's difficult. I understand her pain. To a degree. We're both trans. Well.
Jennings, this is again from the last season. But we were told that this is the perfect path to happiness. It was. This is how happiness was going to be. This is what must be taught to your kids. It must be. And if you object to it, it's because you're a fascist, according to AOC.
But you know I can't get out of my head.
I know. No, listen.
It just doesn't stop.
It's okay. Give me a hug. It's okay. I know what you're going through. We've been there before.
No, it still doesn't stop now. And I'm already going back to negative.
But the more you're talking about yourself, it gets harder. Mm-hmm. You're digging in and it's making you put a magnifying glass on what's already difficult as it is. So this is hard for you. I know. And we don't want to push you anymore.
I know. I'm the one doing it.
I know. You're your own worst enemy.
I feel kind of all over the place and like my mind is very cluttered and not clear. And I really want to have that clarity. I really want to understand myself and be able to read my own soul and what I want. And it's just very challenging. And I think I'm kind of breaking down a little bit and spiraling into negativity. I just want to feel like myself.
This is incredibly
Like, that's it.
sad.
I
It's
don't
incredibly
care.
sad stuff.
All I
You know
want
where
is
this
to be
incredibly sad stuff came from?
me, and I don't feel like
What
me
is me?
ever.
All I want to feel is like me and happy. This is incredibly sad stuff. You know why this incredibly sad stuff happened? Well, we have one more clip from I Am Jazz. This is of Jazz's mom. Jazz's mom talking about the wonders of transgender operations and surgery and what it takes to maintain transgender operations. You know, the part that you're not supposed to talk about out loud, but ended up on TV. Anyway, here's Jazz Jennings' mother explaining what Jazz Jennings' mom had to do to maintain a neo-vagina for her son.
But with her, I'm worried about like her mental well-being and her dilation. The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will. But Jazz is bad, even when I'm home once a day. I would be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I will wring her neck. Can you imagine? No, I can't imagine.
That thing that would be sealing up, that would be the fake body cavity created by the attempt to remove.
But what's the mother to do? Her mother's in this situation, trying to keep up with her child's transition surgery. It was a lot of money. You don't want to just blow all that money for no reason. Jazz should appreciate her mother more for giving up all this time for her mom to go out and live her best life. She's giving that up for her kid to transition. And that takes a lot. It takes a lot out of a person. I can only imagine what being a mother is like and having to deal with that. And then we go to Jazz. Jazz is just trying to live. She has everything going for her. But her mind's cluttered. But she does have a lot going on. I would suggest she go to therapy. Seems like that would help a lot. But people like Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, they don't understand that when Jazz came out of the womb, she knew that she wanted to be a girl. People like him don't understand that because they're religious. But she came out of the womb wanting to be a girl. And then she had this strange growth in between her legs that she was unfamiliar with. And she wanted to get rid of that. It was uncomfortable. It was messing with her head. Even at 2, those kind of emotions are really difficult to deal with. So her mom did the best thing she knew how to do, which was take her to specialists and transition her, get her on some medications, socially transition her. See, Jazz is happy. She's just going through, the early 20s and the difficulties that come along with that. You're changing from high school, you're going to college, making new friends, such and such, and a lot of girls do gain weight. They call it the freshman 15 around that time, whether they go to college or not. Maybe it's because they finally have freedom, they could finally drink, be a little bit reckless, do whatever they want. This is an independent woman thing. Of course, someone like Ben Shapiro wouldn't understand that. But her mom needs to let her let loose a little bit more. Let her have fun, let her get wasted, let her experiment. She needs to be her authentic self, and she can't do that with her mom forcing dilation down her throat. You know what I mean? I know it has to be done, but live and let live, right? Let the girl do her. Let the girl do her. She's an adult, She's got to do what she got to do. That's the part about being a mom that's tough, I'm sure. I wouldn't know. I'm not a mom, but anyway, I hope Jazz does better and finds herself. Depression is a bitch. Finding yourself is tough. I'm just glad she found herself at 2. Because a lot of people, it takes a lot longer to find themselves. Some people never do. Like and subscribe.